The barrel of Ethan Harper's Remington revolver was still hot against Zeke Harlan's forehead when he spotted her standing in the doorway of the old red brick schoolhouse. Abigail Reynolds froze there like a ghost from his youth, her auburn hair pinned up tight. But those green eyes, damn. Those eyes still burned with the same intensity that had kept him awake nights for 4 endless years. Blood dripped from Harlan's forearm, where Ethan's shot had grazed him, the outlaw muttering curses about his kin coming for payback, but Ethan tuned it out. All he could focus on was how Abigail's breath quickened under her buttoned-up blouse, her rosy lips slightly open in disbelief at the sight of him. She'd been 27 when she first taught him his letters. Now, at 41, widowed and more striking than ever, she stirred that buried longing in him like a storm kicking up dust on the plains. What happens when a drifter comes back to seize the one thing his soul never released? 4 days prior, Ethan Harper had ridden into Silver Creek, Montana, with trail dust on his boots and a trail of bodies in his wake. The local Gazette dubbed him the quickest trigger north of Billings-Zade outlaws, and shallow graves attested to that. But as he reined in his horse on the outskirts, watching the cattle towns, saloons, and mercantiles bustle under the big sky, none of it mattered. He'd returned for her. The schoolhouse looked much the same. Faded clapboard walls, a bell tower leaning slightly from the winds. Through the dusty panes, he saw her pacing with that familiar poise, chalk in hand, guiding her pupils through their sums. Lord, she was timeless. When the kids spilled out for recess, laughing and chasing, Ethan swung down from his saddle, his spurs jingling on the packed earth. He lingered in the doorway, watching her wipe the blackboard, oblivious. The years had softened her edges, adding curves that her modest wool dress couldn't fully hide. She turned, and her hand shot to her collarbone, a move that twisted something deep in his gut. "Ethan Harper," she breathed, her voice a whisper on the breeze. "My word, you've changed." He'd shot up tall, shoulders broad from hard riding. The frightened kid who'd struggled with words, now a man with a badge and a holster slung low. "Ma'am," he tipped his Stetson, feeling like that awkward teen again. "Figured I'd stop by and thank my old teacher proper." A blush climbed her neck. "You can't be here, Ethan. Folks will whisper." He stepped inside, the room closing in around them like a secret. "Heard about your husband," he said softly. "Sorry for your loss." She fussed with her lesson books, but he saw her fingers shake. Mr. Reynolds was kind. The fever took him fast, but the pain lingered. The unspoken grief hung thick as smoke. When she met his gaze, her eyes shimmered. "You've made a name for yourself. The whole territory talks about you. A man's got to choose his path," his tone roughened. "Question is, can he stick to it?" Hooves thundered outside before she could reply. 3 riders in weathered coats pulled up Ike Harlan and his brothers, Cody and Dale, strutting in like they owned the place. Abigail paled but held firm. "Mrs. Reynolds," Zeke leered, his gaze slimy as it raked over her. "Time to chat about your back taxes." "I've settled with the county," she said steadily, though fear edged her words. "Ain't county taxes I'm after, sweetheart," Zeke advanced, crowding her against the desk. "This town's rough. A widow like you needs protection." The implication boiled Ethan's blood. The scum was extorting her, and worse. "The ladies' square." Ethan's voice sliced through like a knife. The brothers whirled, hands twitching toward irons. Zeke sneered at Ethan's deputy star. "Well, if it ain't Ethan Harper. Heard you been playing hero down Wyoming way." "Heard right." Ethan's hand hovered near his Remington. "Also heard you vermin been harassing good people." Dale, the hothead, stepped up. "You threatening us, Harper?" "Just stating facts. Apologize to Mrs. Reynolds and get, or we take it outside." Tension crackled like lightning. Abigail gripped the desk, knuckles white. Zeke drew first, but Ethan's shot shattered his pistol from his grip, nicking his knuckles. Zeke howled, clutching the bloody mess. "Next one's through your skull," Ethan growled. "All of you ride." They backed out, spitting threats, but Ethan knew it wasn't over. Turning to Abigail, he saw awe in her eyes and heat. "You're not the boy I knew," she murmured. "No, ma'am, I'm not." That night, a blizzard howled in from the Rockies, blanketing Silver Creek in white fury. Ethan finished his patrols, snow piling on his coat, when he saw her cabin light glowing. Her shadow moved alone, tugging at him. His knock startled her. She opened the door, eyes wide. "Ethan, in this weather?" "Storm hit hard. The boarding house is full. Thought maybe—" She wavered decency versus scandal, then sighed. "Come in before you freeze." Her place was cozy, fire crackling, shelves of books whispering of her world. She brewed coffee, hands unsteady as their fingers brushed. Sparks flew. "We got to talk about today," he said huskily. "Nothing to talk about. You saved me. I'm grateful." But her eyes dodged his. She faced the flames, shawl slipping, firelight tracing her neck, her full figure. "That's all it can be, Ethan. I'm 12 years your senior. Your teacher. People talk about widows like me. I don't care about talk." He closed the gap, slowly. "You have me. For how long? Till you tire? Till some young gal catches your eye? I'm 41, what can I give?" "Everything." He cupped her cheek, feeling her tremble. "You gave me hope, knowledge, a shot at being more. I've loved you since I was 20, through every dusty trail, every showdown." Her resolve cracked. She leaned in. "This is crazy. Then let's be crazy." Their kiss ignited like wildfire, her lips soft, tasting of warmth and want. She clung to him, moaning as his hands roamed her waist. Years dissolved. She tugged at his shirt, palms scorching his skin. "Ethan!" She gasped, unlacing her bodice. He lifted her toward the bed, heart pounding. But lamplight hit a photo on the nightstand, her late husband, stern in his suit, staring. She stiffened. "No! Oh, Lord, what are we doing?" She shoved away, covering up, tears flowing. "I can't betray him. And you are my pupil. This is sinful." The rejection gutted him like a blade. "So pretend I don't love you? Watch you rot alone. I want you honorable, better than urges." Her words stung. Outside, gunshots pierced the gale, the alarm for trouble. "The Harlans!" Ethan snarled, buckling his belt. Flames danced in the distance, the schoolhouse ablaze. "Stay put." But Abigail dressed fiercely. "That's my kid's future burning. I won't hide." The inferno roared, 6 riders circling like demons. Ethan tallied the odds. Bad, worse with her there. "They're drawing me out." "Stay," he urged, but she shook her head. "No." He kissed her quickly. "Promise me you'll live." Stepping into the street, snow whipping, he faced them. "Come on, Harper." Zeke bellowed. "Let the teacher watch us gut you." Guns blazed. Ethan's first bullet fell Dale, his second winged a hired gun. Lead buzzed past. He dove behind a trough, reloading as splinters flew. A graze seared his side. Another's arm was fading. Then bells told Abigail had reached the chapel, rousing the town. Lights flared. Men armed up. The Harlans panicked, firing wildly. Ethan rose, dropping 2 more. Smoke cleared. 5 down. Zeke crawling for a gun. "Don't." Ethan's aim steady. "You're done." Dawn broke cold. Doc stitched Ethan's wounds while the mayor, portly Mr. Ellis, burst in. "Heroic son. Council's off, Aaron. You sheriff's badge permanent." And leeway on personal matters. Ethan glanced out. Abigail amid the ruins, clutching a scorched reader. "The town's grateful. We'll rebuild stone this time. Keep Mrs. Reynolds teaching." Hope surged. Outside, Ethan pulled her close. "This ain't your fault. Evil's on them. But us. Town wants us together. Marry me, Abigail. Let me prove love's worth the fight." Tears fell, but she smiled. "Yes, Ethan. Yes." 6 months on, the new school gleamed, Abigail Harper inspiring her class with fire. Ethan watched from the door, his ring on her finger. "Sheriff," a boy piped, "teach us to shoot?" Letter's first kid. She caught his eye, grinning. That evening, strolling home, she squeezed his hand. Happy, more than deserved. She kissed him boldly. Ask again in 50 years. The sun dipped behind the peaks, promising tomorrows in Montana's vast land. What do you think about Ethan and Abigail's romance? Was the age gap a deal breaker, or did their history make it right? Drop your thoughts in the comments, share your stance on forbidden love in small-town America. I'd love to hear your views.